Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for December 2nd to 9th, 2022. I am grateful to be home again among you here, back in the usual format. The family member I was supporting through a procedure is doing beautifully, and it was great to be with friends and family, and I'm also grateful to be home again. So I'm looking forward to this reading this week. It is December, and with that, let's pull our energy back to ourselves, back into this present moment. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me. Coming back here and now, coming back to that exquisite body of yours, which is your vessel, your vehicle for navigating this incredible life. With every breath, filling up those lungs and releasing anything that no longer serves you. I encourage you to envision a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, knowing that this tree root is not only grounding you, it is a conduit through which anything that no longer serves can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children now and in the future to do this reading for this week of December 2nd to 9th, 2022. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our well-being and the well-being of anyone whose life we touch. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future to be present, to facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, so that we can be in sync across time and space, and that we can bring through collectively that which is most important and relevant to us personally and collectively right now. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels now to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, of peace, of joy, of upliftment. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match the frequencies of love and light, clarity, wisdom, healing, and transformation is welcome to go now. Okay, and we're going to cover all that we need to cover in the time that we have together today for our highest and greatest good, so we can bring our best to life. And with that, let's get started. Okay, Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week for our highest and greatest good, so that we can be most effective in contributing our abilities, our gifts, ourselves, and be in harmony and peace and grace, traveling life with ease, with beauty, with love, with kindness, whatever it is that's in our personal and collective heart and mind may be addressed here now today. For our good. Okay. Okay, so we're starting in the recent past. This is energy that is still relevant in our present, in our future. We have the 3 of Hearts, celebration. So whatever's up this week, we need to remember how important it is to come back to celebration, to gratitude, to appreciation, to being with others who are also celebrating, to bringing our hearts up, bringing our energy up through intentional celebration. And so this energy of celebration, again, this is intentional. This isn't just about sort of just randomly throwing a party, although that's totally cool. But it's more about this idea of cultivating celebration, of looking for the things to celebrate and giving ourselves permission to focus on that and give our attention to that. We need to keep reminding ourselves as much as possible that where our attention goes, that's where our energy goes. We need to be mindful about what we're focusing on, because if we're focusing on problems, they will grow. If we're focusing on joy and on gratitude and appreciation and celebration, then we will see more things to celebrate. We will be more grateful. There will be more things to be grateful for. It's fascinating how we have this ability within us to amplify where our attention goes and what we're pulling into our experience. So right now, again, this critical time frame that humanity is sitting in, we're really being called into mastery of where are we putting our consciousness? Where are we dwelling? with our thoughts, our heart, our mind, our spirit? And how do we redirect that so that we are moving powerfully in the direction of what it is that we want to create, rather than being dominated or controlled by things that we don't want? And in that kind of idea, like, as I said, focusing on what we don't want, giving a lot of energy to that. It's a discipline, like anything, like exercise. You have to start slow, or learning a musical instrument. We start slow and it gradually builds. It's a muscle that we flex and develop. Are we giving ourselves permission to focus on our blessings instead of on our challenges and problems? And I'm not saying that those are not important. It's just the quality of energy and attention that we bring to them changes how we can respond. When we are able to give our energy to that celebration, it's an opening energy. It lightens us up. Gratitude is a powerful, powerful discipline that helps us to expand our current state and be open to more solutions to whatever it is that we face. When we go into fear, we contract, we become smaller. It's harder for our inspiration to find us when we're dense. Does that make sense? So that's where we're starting with celebration this week. The present card is the card of victory. And we've been seeing this one lately. It's a very positive card. 6 of Wands, creativity, inspiration, and passion. This is all about how victorious we can be when we are self-directed, when we give ourselves permission to follow our yes and move in the direction of our yes and give that energy. Once again, this idea of a discipline, this idea of a focus, this idea of where are you giving your attention and your energy and your focus? Is it towards what serves you, or are you building, amplifying, compounding what you don't want? So this energy is in our present environment, this very, very deliberate, intentional way of being that is going to add to our personal success and our collective success. And that comes through us spending time lining up with who we really are and what we're really here to do, what our passions are, what our creativity is all about, where we find our joy. It's very, very helpful right now. Okay, so that's the energy of victory in our present environment, this present now, this focusing on our good, focusing on how we're moving forward, giving our attention to how are we being victorious? How can we be victorious? What can we do in our lives? What little things can we do to move our life forward every day in positive ways? It doesn't have to be huge steps, but again, that constant showing up, giving our energy in positive ways, lining up with our yes and saying yes to our yes. Near future, the King of Wands. And so this is more of that fire energy, that generative energy that is so important to our thriving in life. The King, we didn't get the Queen. The King is the masculine aspect of the generative capacity. And so as we move into our near future, or in this week, and as we move into next week, this taking mastery over our generative capacity. So once again, this idea of harnessing our attention, harnessing our focus, being very deliberate about where are we putting our energy, where are we putting our focus, and showing up every day, doing something that contributes to building that goodness inside of us, building that well-being. Now, maybe it's knitting a sweater. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's getting your taxes done. Maybe it's something like that. One of those small pieces of life that helps you to feel in control, empowered, in a state of mastery over your own life. Because we have the King. The King is not, just doodling around. The King is very deliberate and intentional and masterful. So that's very important to keep in mind. It's the masculine quality of the generative fire. So there is a focus, there is a plan, there is an application of the plan, there is a moving from point to point, rather than being more intuitive and kind of following the flow, which tends to be the more feminine, traditionally the feminine way of doing things. So we're seeing this week this kind of continued message of be intentional, be deliberate, be masterful. When you notice that you are losing steam, just notice. It doesn't mean that you're bad or you're incompetent. It just means maybe that you're tired and you need a break. It's all good. And come back to yourself. Support yourself. Be an ally to yourself. Okay, but it does mean that this is serving us. It is serving our greater good. A foundation card. We have more wands, more of this fire energy. And the card is competition. So why we're having this reading this week is about this energy of competition, this energy of where are we, it's not so much sabotaging, but where are we conflicted within ourselves? Where are we maybe distracted from what it is that we really want to be doing? Where are we divided in our energy and our intention? When we notice that and get curious about it, then we can adopt a different perspective or reframe our experience so that we can be more resilient. Taxes need to be done. Arguably, some people would say not, but anyway, it's something that needs to be done. So how do we approach something like that with more ease, more grace, and just get it done? Maybe it's just that you put some time on the clock and you just go for it. Maybe you put some nice music on and brew a cup of tea and get down and plan to enjoy it as much as possible. But this idea of where are we in conflict with ourselves? Where is there a breakdown? Okay, so that is our foundation. This becoming aware of where we're in inner conflict and how do we move out of conflict with ourselves and into being in more flow and ease and grace. Okay. Yeah, where are we resisting our good? Where are we resisting ourselves? How are we sabotaging ourselves? Because that could be another interpretation. How are we getting in our own way of our good? Not to make ourselves wrong, not to use this awareness to bring ourselves down, but to inform ourselves so that we can make better choices and can move into being more resilient and resourceful and victorious in what we're about. And with that, I think those are pretty clear cards, very optimistic, positive cards, taking our power, taking our mastery. Let's move into the card to grow on for this week and see what happens. Okay, Creator, what would be most supportive of our good going forward this week so that we can thrive and shine and rise? Do all the good that we're here to do. Step into that mastery with greater flow and ease and grace and contribute in meaningful ways. Get into the bigger dream, the larger dream. What is it that we need to know so that we can be most effective and affirming and productive this coming week? For our good, the good of those around us, those we love, our communities, and this beautiful planet we call home. Well, there you go. We got to celebrate. We've had it twice this reading. So this energy of celebration is really, really important. I mean, it's kind of perfect because we're going into that, social season of Christmas. But this idea of, looking for the things to celebrate, looking for the things to feel good about, cultivating well-being through our focus, cultivating well-being through greater ease. Taking that deep breath and just basking for a moment in something that is inspiring to you or joyful to you or uplifting to you. Whether that's your first sip of a really good cup of coffee, the way the light is coming through something, the sunshine is hitting your face and making you feel warm, or snowflakes falling if you live somewhere where there's snow. Those little moments of beauty, allowing yourself to be in them completely and take them in and enjoy them, clasp them to your heart and celebrate them. That will be deeply, deeply nourishing for your field and the collective field through you. We each have a different way of lens, a different way of looking at life. And so the things that are most inspiring and uplifting and joyful for you are going to be different than those for other people. But when you give yourself permission to be there now with that, to acknowledge it, to see the beauty and the perfection and the wellness in it, or whatever it is that grips you, taking a deep breath and being there and celebrating it with your attention. It's a pretty profound practice that brings more of that. It's almost like a devotional energy a conscious devotional energy to just appreciating the aspects of your experience, however large, however small. How good it feels to walk into a warm building after being outside. Those little things, give yourself permission to notice. Our sensory gifts are so wonderful for helping us to distinguish differences. And those differences are pleasurable or not so pleasurable. But when they are things that uplift us or bring more joy to us, or even through the contrast, we have more joy again, through the bitter cold, and we come into a warm building. We're so grateful for that warmth. That contrast helps us to see what we're appreciating. And that's what I mean about this card as our card to grow on this week. Our mission this week is to pay attention to those things that uplift us and elevate us, even in small little ways, and give ourselves permission to be there for a nanosecond or a fraction of a minute and breathe into it. Be there now. And so, with that, we will wrap up the reading for this week. It's good to be here with you. Creator, here we are. Let's close our eyes. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania. I want to thank you for this opportunity to do this reading again. I thank you for the opportunity of going away and having that wonderful experience, and of coming home again and being here now, doing these recordings back in my usual setup. I want to thank and ask for blessings for each and every person on this recording now and in the future. Help us to pull ourselves into this present moment. Help us to see all the good that is there to be celebrated in every moment, dropping into the now moment through our breath, through our presence, and noticing the beauty of life, whatever that looks like for us personally. Let us give ourselves permission to be there and celebrate it and honor it. An act of devotion, an act of respect, an act of admiration, so that we can create more of the energy of gratitude and appreciation and celebration and well-being in our field and in the collective human field at this time. I want to thank all those who've helped us hold the space today, all the angels, the guides, the guardians, all those, the higher selves of all those listening, and for you as well. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for making these readings possible. I'm grateful for all your participation, because you are important to these readings. Your asking brings through the energy, so thank you. And with that, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful week of noticing the many, many blessings of your life and giving them energy and attention through your focus so that you amplify your mastery and your appreciation of this magnificent once-in-a-lifetime experience that we are each having in our own unique way. Much love and light to you, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Take good care.